look as if he's just come straight away for the Green Brigade.
Aye, we'd have meeting at 6:30, mate. Yes, and we're back with a Celtic Unrestricted View. My name's JP. Hope you're all well. Ryan, you're on with me tonight again, mate. Hope you're very well. Smiling again, mate. Got the hoodies on again due to it being -9 in Glasgow. And we managed to keep our momentum going last night, mate. Like I say, my name's JP. This is the Celtic Unrestricted View. Ryan, hope you've had a good week, mate. And how are you?
Not bad, mate. -9. Touch of man flu myself, so apart from that, we're all right, mate. Lot of good topics, I think, tonight, mate. Positive again. Good performance, like we'd expect. I don't think we'll be on the MIRREN podcast tonight, mate, so I think we're done well this week. Overall, mate, good start to the week, obviously, for the result of the weekend, and then obviously into the yesterday. So all round good, mate, so far. How about yourself?
Aye, good, mate. It's been a bit of a quick week, to be honest. Feels as if it was just the semi-final we were chatting about, and then all of a sudden we've played again. And like I says, like we says earlier, Celtic had a fantastic 4 last night, mate. And I'm going to be right into it here. I thought the football was unbelievable last night. I really did. I thought the way we passed the ball, it was crisp. It was played at a high tempo. And I was thinking to myself last night, Ryan, how did they beat us 2-0? Like, how did they manage to beat us 2-0? And it just goes to show you. In a game that they did beat us 2-0 in, we weren't at it. The only thing we were at was another person's podcast, which was on a St Mirren's fan podcast. That's the only thing we were at that weekend. But no, we were really good last night, mate. I thought everybody to a man, they all knew their roles and they carried out the team instruction, the strategy very, very well, mate. What about yourself?
Aye, again, mate, I thought, I'm not want to say it was really comfortable, but in the end it really was. It was 4, obviously more. Again.
You're a poet and you didn't know it.
I'm a lot of things these days. No, but in terms of the performance, mate, I thought it was, again, it wasn't our best, but it was still really good. And that's what's scary, I think, for the rest of the league. People are getting stuff out a bit of drip on Twitter and social media and the radio and stuff. We kept a clean sheet. We won the game 4-0. How can you really... you might have made 2 or 3 mistakes and whatever, but Harry Maguire makes mistakes, he's worth £80 million. Van Dijk makes mistakes, he's £100 million, or whatever he is. Doesn't mean because you're playing with Celtic or you're East Stirlings or you're Liverpool, doesn't matter how much you cost or whatever, you're going to make mistakes at any level. That's nobody's perfect. So overall, mate, I thought some of the football was really good. Jota and Kyogo linked up well as well. I thought Juranovic, bits and bobs, his game is untidy, but again, I think that's because he's playing left back. We've seen at the weekend there, when he played right back, he was different class, so it's not to do with his ability why he didn't really play too well again, it's because of where he's playing. If he plays right back last night, he's probably man of matches. That's just the way he plays. So, again, people are saying really didn't he play too well. I can get that because of where he was playing. He was, sometimes he was a bit murder at left back, but he's better. We all know he's better right back. But overall, mate, of the game, no complaints, mate, at all. 4-0 at Celtic Park, clean sheet. I don't know what else you can ask for. Obviously more goals, but that's just been maybe too greedy. But overall, I don't want to say perfection, mate, but it was just a bit of perfection in terms of the result. Yeah,
I would agree with you, mate. I think, like I said, mate, I thought our passing last night was exceptional. Guys like Matt O'Reilly, Rio Hatate getting on the ball, kind of half turning, playing defence splitting passes all night. Thought the boy Keanu Bacchus actually had a torrid time last night. I thought, and he was one of St Mirren's better players. But I thought he actually had a torrid time in terms of he just couldn't match that energy level of Hatate and O'Reilly. And then obviously you had Callum McGregor as well, just sweeping everything up. What's good about Callum is he spots that danger, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that sort of, it's going to happen, and then he gets himself in really good positions, and he reads the game very well. And I think that's why they three, in my opinion, Ryan, are the best three for that position, because they complement each other so well. It's played at a high energy. It's played at a fast pace, and you need to be super fit to play that sort of hybrid midfield type role for Ange, because you're just non-stop. And then not even that as well. You've got Alistair Johnson, who's no long just joined us, and he doesn't stop running. He's like a Duracell bunny. He just doesn't stop going. And there was actually, I think it was the big boy Gogic.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the manager going like that, going to somebody take the batteries out of him. So I don't want, I'd fed up trying to chase him and like run after him. But to me, it just seemed like, they had a bit between their teeth last night. And I don't know if it's, I touched on it the other night as well. And I don't know if part of that was because Callum McGregor had says that, the biggest letdown on Saturday was the Hampden pitch, and we couldn't play our football on the pitch. Well, I thought that, the message was clear last night, and obviously they got the ball down and they started to play. I don't know about yourself, Ryan, my biggest surprise last night was actually how good Kobayashi looked. I thought he looked a cool customer for a guy that was coming in due to, Cameron Carter-Vickers having a niggle or, whatever it was that Ange says he had, or whatever the possibility might be that, if he's got an injury, then fair enough. But I personally think he's just giving him a rest because of the amount of games he's played. He went away, with America at the World Cup and stuff. So I know he didn't play a lot. He played one game, but I still think he's played a lot of football for Celtic. And I think sometimes when you've got that big squad, it's fitting that you would use that big squad instead of playing the same core all the time, because then you're more susceptible of picking up injuries and niggles along the way. But the biggest, like I say, I was really, and when I say biggest surprise, it was a pleasant surprise, Ryan, because of how good he turned out to be. I know there was people today, and I read a couple of things on social media saying, I bet he missed a couple of headers. He missed a couple of headers. So did Larson. Larson missed headers and on. It was one of his biggest, armoured thingies in the chain. It was it was a trademark of Henrik's header. But he missed headers as well. So but people are saying, he got jumped a couple of times but he's not played. I mean, I can't remember the last time it was he kicked the ball. It was last year anyway. The fact that he came in, and I read today, mate, the most touches of anybody in the park last night. So that goes to tell you, here we go, we got another Starfelt in our hands here that ends up getting 131 touches of the ball to Kilmarnock's 96 as a team. I don't know about yourself, Ryan, but I thought Kobayashi handled the occasion very well, coming in his debut, Park Head. Loads of people, other people have come in and crumbled, in my opinion. He just came in and took it in his stride, and he looked very calm and composed when he was on the ball as well, which was a breath of fresh air, because he obviously brings that balance to the team as well. He's been, having a right foot, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that and how it develops, especially with somebody like Greg Taylor beside him, who's more natural. But I don't know about yourself, mate, but I thought he was really good.
I just think people expect perfection, mate. Again, Mr. Header, what is that? I'm a bad player now. Come on, be realistic here. Not every player hits every header. It doesn't happen. Even like I says, Maguire, Van Dijk, even in the past, the only guys I would say that I've ever seen perfection for was Maldini and Nesta. Like at the back, like they guys were unbelievable. But because he missed a header, you've won a game for nothing. How can you criticise a guy? This is the thing about social media, mate. You know yourself. So, I'm not saying I rate everything perfect because I don't. I probably rate silly things, but how can you come on and criticise a guy who's made a solid debut, his first game as a Celtic player, his first game in the country, and because he missed a header, that's him. Oh, I'm not sure about him. It's the same as Starfelt last night. Oh, he made a few dodgy. Oh, he's a bit of a bomb scare. But that's him played 39 games or something now without a defeat in the league. So how can you criticise him? You can't. He might have wee bits of faults in the game, but you can't criticise a guy. You can criticise him obviously in terms of wee things, but to say that I think shouldn't about the team and all that, well, Jens came in and the only reason Starfelt was no playing because he was injured. Basically, as soon as Starfelt was back fully fit again, he's been playing. We don't know the reason why Jens has not been really on the bench the last few weeks. I don't know if it's to do with the contract situation with his club. I've seen rumours about that. Again, it's rumours. I don't focus on rumours. I try to focus on the facts. And the facts are that Starfelt and Vickers so far are the best partnership at the club. Kobayashi looks decent. He looks assured. His touch is very good. He's comfortable on the ball. Can't really expect anything else again in his debut. Talking about Cal McGregor, again, he's a Rolls Royce. No Stephen Davis, no Ryan Jack. He's a Rolls Royce. So Keith Jackson, if you're listening, Oswald's Bar, if you're listening, no, he's a Rolls Royce. Hatate, he's a Rolls Royce. McGregor's a serial winner. That's what you call a Rolls Royce. No a guy that's won 2 trophies and a petrol tank cup. Do you know what I mean? It's a big difference.
Harry Ramsden, first up I've got.
Or whatever you want to call it. A cup I get flung back and skip anyway. It's in with a bike anyway. It's in the bike and the trophy room. But in terms of McGregor, mate, I've said it numerous times, mate. In terms of all-round player, he's the best player in Scotland. I believe, in my opinion, that Jota is probably the most special talent in terms of where he can maybe go. But for me, Sam McGregor's the best player in the country, without a shadow of a doubt. In my opinion, there's no debate, and nobody can come and tell me different. You can look at stats, because apparently, according to stats, Hatate's not the best player. That one of the best players we've got. Are you joking me? That guy, I seen a guy's tweet last night. I'm not going to say it because in case people get offended by it, but it was brilliant. Have you seen the tweet that the guy put? No. He says, I've just said it's not my tweet anyway. He says that he can thread a pass through Sakara.
I know, I did. I seen that.
Right, and I was howling, but obviously he was using that to make a dig at him. But he was being funny because he's right. The guy's passing is brilliant.
It's right on point, isn't it?
Mate, he's superb, man. In terms of stats, tell you a lot of things, right? But for the naked eye, Hatate's superb. For me, you can look at stats all you want. Stats are a big thing these days, but they don't always tell you the bigger picture. They might tell you that, like we have said, like maybe Giacomakis, I rate him highly. He's maybe goal to ratio, he's maybe better than Kyogo sometimes, but then you've got Kyogo get 17 goals.
Aye.
So you've got to put that together. I could play one game for Celtic and have the best stats. Does that mean that I'm better than Kyogo? No. You've got, I try and look at the naked eye. Stats help you, don't get me wrong. Most teams now are scouting guys on stats, but I'm a big believer of what I see face value. Because again, I know a few people might say I'm picking on him, But if you look at James Forrest's stats, they're not the best. But sometimes to naked eye, he looks better than his stats for the last few years. But yet, sometimes it's the opposite. If you look at all his accolades, oh, what a play he must have been. He's done brilliantly. But then, with the last 2 or 3 years, you look up and go, that's not the guy that's won all that. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't. You've got, in my opinion, you've just got to look at how you see it and at the games when they come. And at the moment, mate, you can't really criticise any Celtic player at the moment, in my opinion. Even guys like David Turnbull, again, it's another guy I rate really highly. I think if he was Spanish or he was Argentinian or whatever, he would be probably one of the first in the team sheets. It's just because he's Scottish. I think he gets a bit of a hard time.
If he was Spanish or Argentinian, mate, he'd be getting ranted and raved about. There's no doubt about it.
That's what I mean. So I think it's because obviously we've got guys like McGregor, Hatate, O'Reilly, and even Moynihan. He has got it hard to get in there. But I like Turnbull, and if I could find a way to fit him in the team, I would. Some people say that he maybe plays too much backwards and all that. I've always seen Turnbull maybe keeping the simple ball. I'd rather somebody kept the simple bass sometimes than having to make things difficult for themselves. That's why these guys are playing at this level, because they do the simple things good. That's why you're playing with Celtic, because you're doing the simple things. Obviously, when you play Barcelona, Real Madrid, you're playing MIRREN because you do the basics outstandingly well, and then you just go up that level as you go up. But Turnbull, again, I know I think St Mirren's the most teams he scored against. I think, is it for Celtic or overall? So again, that's another wee good start for him. His finish was sublime. His celebration was a bit muted. Don't know if that's maybe because he's frustration, he's pissed off at no playing, or is he maybe gone? I'm no spot rumours. I'm just saying because his celebration, it was a bit subdued. So I don't know if that's maybe because he just, I've scored, I've only got 10 minutes tonight. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. We don't know. But I've seen a few fans talking about that as well, mate. But overall, mate, I can't really say anything bad about the team, mate. And Kobayashi was good. I know, I can see why Starfelt gets a bit behind me, because there's maybe a mistake in him. But there was always a mistake in Boyata. There was always a mistake in Ambrose. It's just the way they play. It's the same as Joe Hart. There's a mistake in Joe Hart because of the way Ange wants him to play. So, as much as we moan at Joe Hart, it was the same with Craig Gordon under Brendan Rodgers. He gave balls away and he kicked balls at the park, but he was only doing what the man was asking to do. And us as fans, as much as it's frustrating as hell at Celtic Park when you're seeing guys at that level getting 20 odd grand a week, kicking balls at the park, there's a reason for it, because they're trying what the manager's doing. And I don't mind that as a fan sometimes, mate. Don't know what you think, but sometimes you've got to look at what they're trying to do. I'd rather they're trying to do things than just do what we've done in the 10-in-a-row season. Side, left, right, just passing it back. At least these guys are trying to play football, and I don't mind that at all.
No, definitely no. I mean, you picked up on their Starfelt. He's got a mistake or two in him, but he's given the freedom and the platform to go and make the mistakes, right? So if he doesn't want the ball and he's no, looking for, the passes he's looking for, in my opinion, there would be a serious issue as to why.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be asking questions, you'd be going, right, hold on a minute. But in terms of Starfelt himself, he's been a great find for us, in my opinion. He's absolutely solid. His timing's impeccable. He's defending. I mean, I think Peter Grant in the commentary last night picked up on it. His defending is unbelievable. The way he reads the game, how quickly he spots danger. He gets his cell in front. He gets his cell 9 times out of 10. He gets his cell in front of a man. So I think a lot of the Celtic fans need to have a wee sit down and think before they mention Starfelt in a negative way, because he's anything but a bad player. And like you say yourself, Ryan, I think it's just his overall style. He's got a different style, the way he goes about things. He's not a Van Dijk, as in he'll lift his head and play a 70-yard diag. He's not like that. He just likes to pop it and keep it simple and, do the simple thing. And that's fine. And that's all he's asked to do. But he's playing on a system that demands everybody takes the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of whether he makes that mistake or no, it doesn't put him off because he's back wanting the ball 2 minutes later. He's willing to make mistakes, but his recovery is unbelievable as well. See, when he makes the mistake, he's right on top of, he's either on top of the ball or he tries to narrow out the runner. And there was a couple of times last night where not necessarily made a mistake, but off the ball, he's shuffling his legs over, he's cutting across. And I thought he covered even really well last night when Kobayashi was asked to maybe take a step out with the ball into the midfield, coming into that number 6 role when McGregor pushes higher. When we've not got the ball, because sometimes the rotations are like the fullbacks will stay wide instead of coming in to inverted, and then the ball. But it's played it that fast. St Mirren are dragged all out of shop. They're dragged through the hedges and everything before they know what's going on. They're 2-0 done. So it's kind of really hard to play against, Ryan, when you see it, especially when you see it played the way it was played last night, and it's all simple stuff. But there's 1 and 2 passes, and then it's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Celtic are up the field, Ryan, because everybody in the team's comfortable with the ball. That's why. Then you look at Kyogo's movement, for instance. Frightening. Half a scale. Totally unbelievable. That goal last night was just... What did I say to you about the whole Larson S thing? About that awareness, that timing, that... The wee man is unbelievable. I don't... He's had a bit of a raw deal, in my opinion, in terms of the... I was at the game on Saturday, and there was guys at hand, and even guys that I didn't know. Some of the nonsense that was getting spouted, just, Kyogo's this, he's not done that, he's not done this. I think people have got short memories, mate. Did they not remember the cup final last season? Did they not remember the goals that he's scoring for us? Does anybody remember his touch to take off a sprayed Bobby Jota last season against Fenwick Varos? His touch just to kill that dead in front of him and put it in. It was a similar touch to his first goal against Hibs in the cup final. That he's got that killer instinct, mate. It's the same with young Abada. He's the exact same. He'd never boot my Celtic team, ever. Because of that, because he goes for the jugular. He's in the right place at the right time. He smells danger and he gets his shot. Kyogo is unbelievable and his movement is absolutely frightening. You saw that last night it must be a total dream for your number 10 or your number 8 or, to have a guy like that moves constantly. Because see, even when we're moving with the ball, he's always moving, even though he's not involved with the play. And that sort of passage of play and that sort of phase of the play. He's always moving, he's always scanning, he's always looking. And sometimes he'll make about 1,000 runs. He might only receive a ball 90 times out of that. But his running's always there. And that's something that's got to be admired, Ryan. Because in my opinion, mate, to play the way Ange wants to play, he gives you that focal energy. And then last night, you look at the bench, you're bringing on Turnbull, guys like Aaron Moy. He's just unbelievable. But I'd imagine that guy could probably turn away for you in a phone box. With a beach ball full of helium. His wee touch, his wee feints, his wee, absolutely. And you're looking at that bench. St Mirren are bringing on boys, like Ryan Flynn. And I no disrespect, right? These guys are playing at a really good level. They're playing the Scottish Premier League. But to the scale of Celtic, Ryan, we're bringing on boys like David Turnbull. What the goal he scored last night. That's the bench Celtic have got now. Celtic are bringing on boys that, have played at World Cups.
Aye.
Sitting on the bench. Japan, Maeda. Australia, Aaron Moy. These guys were at the World Cup. And this is what I'm saying. This is what the affordability now that Ange's got and the headache that the big man's got as well. That, you know, he can bring him out and on fine Melly. And your man was on the bench last night as well, at Tomoki Iwata.
Mm-hmm.
He was there as well, should anything happen to Callum. So you've now got that depth, Ryan, that it must be terrifying for other teams, because like we've said before, mate, it's going to get to a point, if it's not already happened, it's going to slowly get to a point where teams are going to be looking across, standing beside you in the tunnel, and they're going to be going, oh no, he's playing, oh no, he's playing, oh no, here he's playing, oh no, they're going to bring him off the bench, oh no. And that's the way, like, and I'm not meaning like your Hearts or Aberdeens, or I'm meaning teams like your Kilmarnocks, and there'll be boys in there that you've put the fear of God into. They've got me the way Aberdeen are playing now. They've already got the fear of God, and that's before they've even played Celtic again. But when you're looking across in the tunnel, that makes a big difference, and it's a mental barrier right away that you know, that you're going to come up against. All your wingers are all different as well, Ryan. So you've got Jota, Maeda, Forrest, Abada, and your man came back from injury last night, Haksabanovic. There's another sub that came off the bench last night as well. It is absolutely frightening. And listening to James Forrest, obviously, I said it to go. I said it would appear to me that Harry Kewell must be working with these boys, because every one of them are all better. Every one of them have come back after for the World Cup break. Every one of them have all come back and they've developed something in their game. Whether it be running power, whether it be timing, whether it be aggressiveness, whether it be skill, whether it be directness, whether it be anything, high tempo. They're all at high tempo now. Even Forrest last night when he came on, his first touch, I think that was a goal that got chopped off. And then after that, he takes two of them on the inside, beats the two of them and gives a bottle. I don't know if you remember it. He plays a lot of reverse pass to Alistair Johnson to the wing. Frightening, mate. This is the energy levels you've got, and that's what I'm saying as well. You're killing teams at the end of games because you're maybe bringing off Kyogo, who's ran the whole night, but you can bring on Maeda, who's still training for the Grand National. In my opinion, you know, he just runs all day. These guys have got energy now that you're killing teams all apart. You're killing teams with that speed, tempo, energy, the lot. That's what's happening. You're absolutely killing teams with that now. And a lot of the teams like Kilmarnock, St Mirren's, Dundee, they don't have the manpower to be able to deal with it.
Nope.
When it gets to 75, 80 minutes, they're beating their feet. And they look here and Celtic are bringing on 3 subs. And they go, oh, here we go, man. Here's my header coming. I'm going to need to say something in a minute. Or here's Giacomakis coming. He's going to smack me about all this part. Or here's, just say for talking sake, Kyogo was on the bench. Here's Kyogo coming, man. He's a goal machine. This is what I'm saying. It's the options now are absolutely frightening. And my dad was saying to me just the other day there, the bench we've got now, Ryan, is probably the strongest bench we've had ever.
Definitely want it.
Man for man. Because every one of them will start the game, Ryan.
I would say so. It's definitely one of the best, mate. Aye. Even guys on leaving the match day squads. If you're Mikey Johnson still on loan, who you be maybe class a first team player.
What we've been told is still part of the manager's plans.
So. You've got guys like James McCarthy, but he's fully fit. He's always running about the squad. He's experienced. People might give McCarthy a bit of drip because he got a 4-year deal now. But see, when we signed McCarthy, that's a good sign. He's injury prone. I don't really like signing guys who are injured, but you kind of know what you're going to get with McCarthy. You might only get 15 games, but it's a free transfer, remember?
Yeah.
So, see if McCarthy was a 2-year deal, I don't think anybody would have really grumbled. I think it's because he was going to a bit easy, a decent wage. Bosman, 4-year deal. You've got him kicking about the squad still, experience. You've got guys like Gucci, who's not had a chance because of injury. these guys could still come and play. See guys like McCarthy, Gucci, Welsh, just about all of them would be starting for every other team in Scotland. That's the squad depth we've got. Like you said, Tumble, even Rangers, any other team in Scotland, Tumbles every week starts. It's the same way obviously Hasebanovic for me could be a starter every week for Celtic, but James Forrest, I know he's getting later on. He's still with 30, 31, but in his Celtic career, he's getting later on. Any other team in Scotland, he's starting every week. Even though I might not be his biggest fan, but he's still a good player. In terms of, I've seen a comment on the chat, mate. I just want to kind of put it in. I don't know if it's about if you want to mention it, mate. I think Frank spoke about Jota. It's quite. I get what Frank's saying. In terms of that Frank's saying he can be described as special talent. I kind of don't agree with that in terms of that, because you can see he's a special talent.
This one here?
Yeah, because for me, Frank, wingers are inconsistent at any level. Like Neymar's inconsistent. I know he's not a winger, but Mbappe doesn't play well every game. Do you know what I mean? These guys don't score every game. They don't play the levels every game. Abada's still a young boy. Jota's still a young boy. They're going to get consistent as they get older. They're still developing at Celtic. See, to be fair, I'll be surprised if Jota's seen in another 2 years. I'll be surprised if he's here, because he's got that raw talent that he can take his game on another level. In my opinion, I played winger sometimes. I might not have been great, but you do have inconsistent games as a winger. You might have, like James Forrest is probably a prime example. 3 or 4 games he was fighting, but then he was missing for 6 games. I'm not saying that's how much he was missing for, but some wingers are just inconsistent. Even in the past, you guys like who've had in the past wingers, even guys like Thompson sometimes, brilliant player. But in my eyes, a bit of a legend at Celtic. He wasn't brilliant every week, but these guys, doesn't mean that they're not trying. They're maybe at their levels in terms of, I know that their GPS or that, it tells you their levels. They're probably at that all the time, but just because of the products not every week doesn't mean that they're no good players. But I do get what Frank's saying. I think maybe in terms of some people's opinion, they won't say that he's going to go further until he gets a bit more consistency. I can get that, but at any level, any winger, in my opinion's inconsistent. Even guys at Real Madrid are inconsistent. Vinicius Junior, hopeless against Janovic, but then as soon as he starts in La Liga, he's brilliant again. That's just, you can't be perfect every game, but I do get Frank's point. That is a good point. But you know me, JP, I've said in this podcast numerous times now, wingers are inconsistent. Abada is probably one for that. He might still be scoring goals, but his performances, he dips in and out. 1 minute he's the bye guys, he's doing this, but then 1 minute he's no there. That's just the way wingers are. Obviously, the level you go up, they get a bit more consistent. But for me, that's just natural with wingers. They can be inconsistent. But I'm totally agreeing with you, JP, in terms of the squad depth we've got. It's phenomenal. But you'll still get some of the outlets saying that we've got a rocky defence and we've not got a squad depth. You've got Ian Beale, the other side of the city, saying that they've got squad depth, and then now he's saying they need reinforcements. Make your mind up. Make your mind up. You're saying that you've got a good squad, and then now, before the game against us, you say, I need to buy first team players, I need reinforcements. You can't have a bigger squad then if you need reinforcements right away. Obviously, you've got to refresh every January, but he's trying to say that he's got a good enough squad. Well, go and prove it then. You've won just about every game since you've come in. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, I know a few Rangers fans, I know half the way they're playing. Like they were saying last night, we struggled to beat Kilmarnock 3-2. Again, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know. I'm just going by their opinions. But when we're struggling, but our struggling is nothing like they're struggling, or Aberdeen's struggling, or Hearts is struggling. We don't really struggle. The media will make it that we, Celtic were lucky. That the headlines at the weekend there, I can't mind exactly.
I know, it was hilarious. I know what you're going to say.
So apparently it was relief.
we
It was
won
relief.
2-0 and
Aye.
had 2 goals chopped off in the game as well.
It
But
was
apparently
2-0,
we had sheer relief at that result. But yet, and then their headline for the Sunday was that the warriors or something, or they battled through, or
Aye, it was something like Celtic relief as they get the second goal, and then they were brilliant. But yet they went the extra. And I think I put it on Twitter.
you
Who
did.
went to
Remind me
who,
again who went to extra time.
who went to extra time in the game? So that tells you who struggled to win the game. Do you know what I mean? This is just people always say, Ryan, why do you do that? Because I like to call it bullshit. See if I say something stupid, call me out and tell me. I'll accept it early. All right, I was stupid. But these guys are getting paid a fortune to print absolute nonsense.
Oh, they're getting paid. Exactly, they're getting paid.
And it's all for, it's maybe for idiots like me, clickbait. Oh, he said this, but I'm going to call it out. You should know that now. I'll call it out. I don't care if it makes me look stupid. Because I'm defending my club. The way you talk, like Celtic are the only club I think in the world that have won 4 trebles in a row. But you wouldn't think that's ever happened in this country.
I think Joseph here can sense a wee bit of hostility coming from you, mate. He's asked you just to hail boys, do a Bertie Hogg and just sing a Celtic song. We all know what happened there. Hail.
I think if you
always
sing,
he's happy, Joseph, that one. Definitely. It's always a great memory for that one.
But I just
what an occasion to have just burst into song. Like 1967, you're just about to go onto the field for a cup final, and only Bertie, being who Bertie was, would come away with something like that, you know. And the Italian standing there in disarray, kind of going, what the hell's going on here? And you could just picture the scene, and obviously but obviously it helped relax the Celtic players. But you never, that's half the cuff, that kind of stuff. You probably never see stuff like that now. You'd never maybe see Callum McGregor bursting into in the middle of the tunnel. Or,
to be fair, we don't know what happens in there, do we? So,
this is true. That's how. Well, he did that. He did reply to that when he was asked about the all or nothing question. When he says, "There's no danger." What was it? He said, "There's no danger." He never said that. I'm putting in this term now, but he made a said, "There is no danger. There is carnage entering that dressing room. Not a chance."
But I can get your point as well in terms of. I agree as well that see maybe for European wise, right? Starfelt and Vickers I thought done okay in Europe last year, right? I don't think defensively we were too poor compared to a few other campaigns. But probably maybe if he does make the mistake in Europe again next year, he might get found out. That I can see maybe why guys are maybe thinking about that. But think about that when we're there. Don't think about that now. Europe's done now. Think about what we need to do now in terms of winning. Put it this way, you're going for a treble. I'm not saying we're going to win a treble. I'm just saying you've got 3 chances to win a treble here. Well, 3, aye. You've got the league, you've got the 2 cups. So you're in the final with 1 cup. Again, I'm not going to tempt fate, but you should take care of Morton. I know we've had a few upsets in the past, but we should get in the next round. You should be beating Morton, no matter who we put out. But listen, I've been wrong in the past, but you like to think every Celtic fan would be absolutely unbelievable disappointed if you don't walk away for Celtic Park on Saturday by result. So I'm not going to say we're going through that, but I'm just saying that if you did go through to that, then it's another round closer back to Hampden. So in a very good position now at Celtic. But I just thought I'd comment on that on Ian Bailey's just ever since he's come out of the job, he's just talk about Celtic. Same as John Lundstrom. I'm not here to talk about Celtic, then he continues to talk about Celtic. I've generally not heard Ange speak about Rangers once. There he's there. I generally don't think I've seen Ange talk about Rangers once in any press conferences. I don't think I've even mentioned. I don't think I've ever mentioned about Rangers. I've never seen him there, unless I've been oblivious to it.
Well, he has mentioned them when obviously the week was we were going to play them. So he obviously was mentioning them then.
But I mean, outside of that game,
he doesn't talk. No, he doesn't.
What I mean.
Well, why would he? I mean, he's not agree with him. So
because apparently he's come out and saying, "I've inherited the gap," and what? You're still 9 points behind. Doesn't matter if you come into it or no. Bram Bronckhorst came in when he was ahead and he went behind. It's still his
Well,
team.
the thing is, Ryan, it's me magical sweeties, mate, that's doing their heats. It really is. It's these be
The Ludemals.
magical sweeties that are affecting other wee heat.
But in terms of us, mate, again, in terms of last night, what you were saying about obviously Tumbo, again, I rate Tumbo a lot. I think that maybe it could be a bit of a thing maybe because his game time. I know he was injured, but so I can maybe get his point in terms of his game time. But see when the guys in front of you are playing well, it kind of gets back to the point where I know it's a bit off topic, but it gets back to what people speak about the youth setup. Why the youth guys will get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I get that these guys need to get a chance. I totally get it, and I know that every big club is chasing trophies, etc. Right, but see when you're going for trophies, can you put a young guy in risk him when you don't know what he's like? This is what I'm trying to say. I totally get that they've got to try and get experience. You the game against Morton, maybe put some of them on the bench or maybe play one or two. I get that, but there's a time and place where you put young guys in. Tierney you put in, and then he was that good that he get left in. I think these guys, when they play, they need to make a lasting impression. Or we've seen in the past, like the boy Vatas, he's outrageous so far in the B team. Having the guy Bosa Lawwell, they were on the bench, Vata came on, and they've not been since on the bench. That's what I mean. So they've got to hopefully consistently get the bench and get game time, but that's through the manager. It's very hard these days, my opinion, JP, that the golfing class between the Celtic first team to the B team, I think, is the next level. There might be other now. And I think you need to be exceptional talent to get into that first team. Because Kieran Tierney was unbelievable. You can see maybe when he first came in, he was a bit fitness-wise and he had to bulk up. But for a year and a half, man, the boy was absolutely flying. When you're very good at Celtic, you might play for the B team, you might get a new deal, but to get in the first team, I think now you need to be just about as good as you've ever been at Celtic. I think with the way Ange wants to play, the fitness, you need to be so athletic and dynamic, and it's a different Celtic team that I've ever seen. Like back in the day, you had Maloney came in and McGeady, but they were only playing a fast-paced formation that we're playing now. It was basically just Gary Larson.
But to be fair with Wee Maloney, he did have a bit of speed and pace.
No, I'm not talking about him as players. I mean, try to get into this team.
Aye.
Like you've got to be just about. You've got to be athletic. You've got to be quick. You've got to have all the attributes to step in and play. And I don't know if someone can do that just yet. I think because even guys like we mentioned who don't play too much, guys like Forrest, Tassie Vanvers just came in. The young guys are going to have some task to get in front of them. But I totally want young guys to get a chance and play because that's what I want us to produce young talent. But I think that's a topic for us all, JP. When do you put them in? When do you play them? I know every team chases trophies. I totally get that, and you've got to find a way to do it. But see if you're maybe only, I know we're 9 points in now, right? So you can maybe lose a game or draw a game and still be comfortable, right? I get that. You don't want to do that, so you could maybe put one or two in. Like the St Johnstone game, when there was COVID rules, etc. The boy Dawson played, etc. They played, to be fair, the boy Dawson didn't look at a place, and he's only seen since. So what's happened there? He played well that game, so there's a lot of things that we don't know about as well in terms of the youth system, mate. But I think now you need to be top notch now to get in that youth system, mate. The first team, from the youth system, because like you're saying, guys like even Jackie Marcus, Kyogo, and then the wee Vata's got to get up to them. That's a big jump, man. But the wee boy is a special talent. You can see for his age, he done well against Wolves the other night, so he might get a sniff. Aye, he might get a sniff on Saturday, so we don't know. But I think you might see one or two youth guys, maybe on the bench or starting against Morton. Maybe no starting that, maybe but on the bench getting game time. But I think maybe that's the only game I would say. Maybe the new that you're maybe going to see some get a game. So you can't. I think the point I'm trying to make is, if you're chasing a league and the league's not finished, when do you introduce them? Like, do you put a young guy here, Jota? Do you put Maya Abada? Do you put? This is when do you put them in? Like the boy Lawwell, Bosun Lawwell. Do you put money in front of Kobayashi? You've just signed him.
You're
Do you know
jumping
what
on
I mean?
that gravy train like a lot of fans,
Aye.
innit? Lawwell.
So you've just signed Kobayashi, but then you're going to put him in front of him. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad I'm on a manager because she's got to deal with that. Like, when do you play the youth guys? When do you give them game time? When do you tell them to go and train with you? That's the thing. We can do a full podcast with fans on this because it's when do you put them in? We want them to play, but when do you do it? That's how do you manage when to do it when you're still trying to chase a league and you know what to lose momentum? And that's the offence of youth guys but when you're playing young experienced guys, you might not get the performances of obviously the first team players. But it's a debate you could talk about for hours, mate.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think it's any surprising that we just seen that the young boy Matthew Anderson has just signed a new contract. And Ange spoke very highly of him in his presser pre-match to the St Mirren game there. So, and he mentions the fact that, you know, he's well up to date with the development of a lot of these boys. And he mentioned him and Rocco Bosun and Ben Summers.
That's right, aye.
I think, I know what you're saying in terms of the jump line. I personally think these boys, if he's saying it, if Ange is coming away with this, Ange is going to find somewhere for them. And I think these boys might be the new. I've said to my dad, it's never happened for us yet, right? And he was laughing when I said it. I says, we've never done a Man United. And he went, what do you mean? And I says, brought about 5 or 6. Like, remember when they done it with Scholes and Giggs, and Giggs was held at Scholes and Nicky Butt and the two
the class of 96?
Well, that's it. No, 92, wasn't it? Class of 92.
Aye, sorry. Why did I say 96?
Aye.
It was 96. Was that did Man U do something 96?
I don't know. I don't even know if they had a class that time, mate. I don't know if the class was.
No, it was class 92. Was that?
I think it was a class was away for the summer holiday or something. No.
Sorry, it was class 92.
It was definitely a class of 92.
No,
said to my dad, you've never seen Celtic do something like that, and I says, I'm getting a vibe. You know, I might be mental. People on here watching might be like, big man, you're lost in the plot. I've got a funny feeling because Ange rhymed off Anderson, Lowell, Vata, Summers, and I'm sure he mentioned the big striker, the big boy Dawson. And he sort of gave me a vibe that they're all run about, chapping the door and being ready. So who knows, Ryan? But like, the next sort of maybe he's the down the line plan is to trim the squad a wee bit to make room for these boys.
That's a good shout,
and then give them game time. Because he tried to do it with the boy Ben Dokes. Now that boy's obviously going to be special, right? You can see that he's obviously played a handful of games for Liverpool now. It's about 4 or 5 games he's played in now. So there's got to be boys that McManus and Dan Adair are coaching there now that are showing that kind of promise. Now, that promise only takes you so far. We know that, right? And like you say yourself, playing for the B team in the Lowland League is night and day for coming up here and playing St Mirren even last night at Celtic Park.
See, I don't think that can prepare you for the first team. I think
it probably can, but what can do is the Wolves game last night, the night before. Games like that. Maybe this is the avenue now that is that a cup or something I was reading?
I'm not sure, mate, but I think again, sorry to cut you in, but it's on your topic what you're saying. This is why I think they should just get the money and bring back the Reserve League. We'd all be happy with it because it's getting these guys like Big Jens might not be playing for 2 or 3 weeks, right? But he could play with Big Lawwell, Bolson Lawwell at the back. He could guide them, show them experience, and then you can play against like St Mirren strikers or St Johnson guys. But I think you're getting more experience playing against these guys because you know, like Simon Ferry, he talks about it highly. He says he learned off guys like Paul Lambert. I know it's a different era, it's different players. I get that, right? I know you want to see McGregor playing in a reserve game. I get that, right? But guys like McCarthy, no playing, could play reserve game. Gucci, reserve game. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know if I don't think it'll ever happen again, JP. But no, sorry, I'm sure it's coming back. But I'm sure Celtic are involved in it.
They're not involved. No, there's only 3 teams out there. But I think some of the teams can't do it now, Ryan, because of their setups and maybe affordability, etc.
Well, I know a few teams get rid of...
I'm sure I read something. It was to do with some sort of affordability. But
Well, I know a
Celtic,
few...
they've got another agenda. They've got another sort of... There's obviously a long-term plan for this B team. Whether it be another year in the Lowland League or are they taking them out this time to go and do something else for them, I don't know. But they need to sort of keep doing it because these boys have got to play. It's just they're going to get to a certain age point, Ryan, where they're going to have it's got to be a cut off. So they're either going to come into the first team or they're going to go the same route as like. And I don't want to be disrespectful because again, he's playing at a decent level. He's played at a decent level. Boys like your Calvin Millers, Regan Hendries, Jack Aitchisons, they're going to go down that path. We're going to lose these boys and they're going to move on. But what we cannot afford to keep doing is losing boys like your Barry Hepburns and your John Herring and Ben Dokes and Karamoko Dembellis. These boys are spending quite a bit of money on now to train, work hard, they develop, get them on a platform that you can.
And then gone.
And then they're running down their contracts. And then whatever reason, they're moving on to pastures new. And we need to stop with that that sort of the line of business that we're going down that way. That needs to stop. And I think under Ange it will. But just before we go any further, mate, I don't want to, because he commented a wee while ago. Guy Robert Davey. Hello everyone, hail, hail. How you doing, Robert? Thanks very much for tuning in to us tonight, mate.
All righty.
Sorry it took me a wee while to reply. But obviously I've got Andy Gray on me many nights, so obviously he likes a wee blurrer. So I do apologise about that. But and we're just on the topic. Jamie Young, one of our regular commenters. Jamie says we pay our B team from £250 to £500. So, and obviously the team across the water are on 30 quid a week.
I do know we pay decent money. There's a guy running about me. I'm not saying who the guy knows, but it's a guy in the B team, and I know he does get a decent amount of money for his age. So that is a good wage. But it's more than money I get from my job. So, and he's only a young boy, so which is fair enough. He's playing at a high club at Celtic.
Is he in the B team now?
Aye.
We'll not say his name, but
no,
okay.
No. I'm not mentioning names, but a guy running about me, he's told me how he's doing well on that, and he's getting all the wage for his age. But I don't know in terms of Rangers. I know one of my dad's pals, his boy plays Rangers, but he's kind of out on loan and that stuff. But I don't know what they get. I just know he plays for Rangers, but I don't know what they get. So I couldn't tell you that, Jamie. Maybe right, Jamie, but I'd like to imagine that obviously Celtic give me money. Celtic put, is it £2 million or £2.5 million a year into the youth system? I might be wrong. I don't know if that's what the figure is. So Celtic have got a bit of money to back their youth system. And especially...
I'm swearing here because I've seen a comment for Francis. I've just been corrected for what I've just said.
No, I've seen that. I seen that. Aye.
We did it in the 70s, lads, with the Quality Street Gang, Douglas Connolly, McGrain, McCarry, etc. Davy Hay and Paul Wilson. We'll give you that one, Francis. That was kind of before my time.
So basically, we're saying is, JP, you make your tea, mate.
Don't
make your tea.
I'll go and get the tea. Tea's a shout what you're wanting in due course.
A wee hot chocolate and some nice whipped cream will do nicely.
Aye. It's a bit unusual on a Thursday night for you asking for whipped cream, mate. It's not a different night you ask for that, is it not? For anybody that doesn't know, obviously Ryan asking for his whipped cream. It's usually his Friday nights when he's doing this. As I say, that's a different. That's an unusual one. You've just caught me on the hop there, Ryan. Me asking for whipped cream on a Thursday night, mate. We've got a wee comment in for our good friend Jason, big Jason. Anybody notice how comfy Starfelt looked at right back last night? I reckon that was just you, mate. We just spoke about him about 20 minutes ago and he's been slaughtered. So let's say about him, we better. I'm only kidding, Jason. Yes, mate, we did. We picked up in that very early doors. He, first 5 minutes, I thought he looked like a fish out of water, but then he got to grips with the game. But we mentioned earlier as well that his defensive instincts are really, really good. He reads the game really well. And I caught this early doors, Ryan, his timing on the deck in terms of putting his body in front of the ball and getting it. I don't know if you talk about timing. I don't know if you remember the instant in the game last night. I think it's a big boy Yuki picks the ball up just outside our 18-yard box and he starts driving forward. Now, Kobayashi feints to go one way with his body.
Aye.
And he steps and blocks. Did you see the block?
Mm-hmm.
Never even went near the goal. Never even, by the post or it went out for a shy. And I thought, that is unbelievable. And again, that's down to sheer timing. It's down to, positioning really well. Jason's gave us a reason as to why he was late with that comment. It's not like you, big man, to be fair. Definitely not like you. For anybody that knows Jason, he's probably been late to the party because it's that time at night now, so he's
I've just had to I've seen a comment from Francis. I'm not going to tell you what it is, Francis, but just type in OnlyFans up, mate, on Google and you'll get a just of what we're saying.
OnlyFans is this right here, Francis, just in case you were wondering, mate.
No, but in terms of what Jason was saying, that again, no my opinion, Jason, but there was a few fans on social media saying that he didn't look comfortable because he kind of gave the ball away and that. I get that, right, but I just think Starfelt, it does look better playing in the right side as a left. I think the only reason he sometimes goes away with it is because he's playing with Vickers and Vickers covers him, but at the same time, Starfelt covers Vickers sometimes when he goes away to go get the ball. So
yeah.
I think the two they complement each other. Aye, Francois.
Francis wants to know, is OnlyFans one of the shut the curtain sites? It certainly would be.
It's for after the watershed.
That's why, Francis, you wouldn't leave your curtains open, that's for sure, especially if the postman's due.
Special delivery.
Special delivery, aye. Yeah. Here's one I made earlier for you, mate.
Aye. Starfelt, again, I think Starfelt gets a bit of uncertified.
Good evening, Stephen. How are
Hi,
you?
mate. How you doing? All righty? I feel it gets a bit unjustified jip sometimes, to be fair. I can get what they're saying in terms of maybe European football, but we're not talking about that now. We're talking about playing in Scotland. Worry about European football when you win the league and when you get in Europe. That's when I will see just about maybe pre-season. That's when I'll start thinking, right, now we need to sign guys to transform us to get and just dream, try and get third, try and get second, try and win it, try and do what you can to get better. You've got to strive to get better. So we've got to be better than last year, which means if it means get one more point last year or two more points, as long as we're better than last year, that's what we need to do. Because as Mr. Lowell says, to him being a Champions League club, so now this is where we need to start. I think now under Ange, he's going to get the benefit of doubt because of that. But I think next year, if we don't do too well, then I think the squad will probably get a bit criticised more. The only reason I thought we didn't do too well last year was due to the finishing, and that's nothing the manager can do. The manager can't do that. See if I'm playing and I'm missing sitters, that's not the manager, that's not me.
In the Champions League?
No, and last year we were missing chances, right? With Kyogo and Giacomakis, right?
My main concern would be if the chances weren't happening.
No, I get that. I get that. But that's what I'm saying. The manager can't do anything about that. That's down to the players to put them away. The manager can put them on the park and do everything they can in the training field. But once you passed that white line, it's down to you. It's down to the team. This is why I think sometimes, especially down the south, yourself, JP, football's a short time now in terms of managers. They get a lot of they take a lot of the responsibility because it's their team. But see, as soon as you pass that white line, I don't play for my manager. I play for myself, my teammates, and the fans. You do what you can on that park, but you make sure you're doing your job first, and then everything else should go for that. So, but in terms of Starfelt, mate, what Jason says, I've no qualms with Starfelt. Do we need to buy better to maybe progress in Europe? Maybe, if that chance can come. But at Celtic, I think Julian's the best defender we've bought in it. £7 million. He's the most expensive bought that I can remember. And Julian for me was all right. I thought Julian was decent for Celtic. Again, he gets a lot of maybe bad press because of maybe the way he left, etc. But I thought Julian was good for us. Scored some very important goals. Aye, he scored some very important goals. So, but I do believe in terms of European wise, JP, I do think maybe next year, I think you will see maybe guys like, I think this might be Welsh's last season at Celtic. I think for his game time, I know Ange, I think Ange maybe does like him, but I've seen enough of Welsh with JP. Again, he is playing at a better level than me. He's playing with the team we support. I do think he's a decent player, but in terms of taking us to the next level and win his league titles, I know he's part of the league title winning team last year, but I just think if we want to progress our club, I think you just need to get better. If it means sending him on loan to see how he does, but I think he's at an age now, I think he's got to go and play. I don't think he can just sit on Celtic's bench or sit and twiddle his thumbs to wait for a chance or wait till an injury to happen, because Starfelt, Vickers, Kobayashi and Jens are his first four now. Jens, we don't know what's happened with him. We don't know if I've seen bits, again, this is just what I've seen on Twitter. I don't believe everything on Twitter. Apparently there might be things today with his parent club, maybe trying to block him a move. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just going by what I've seen. You know me, JP, I don't care what rumours say. I just, unless this guy's got a scarf or something on Sky Sports News signed and delivered, then I'll believe it. So, I think Jens is okay. Do I think he's got to take it to the next level? I don't know. I've not seen too much of him yet to really judge that. Carter Vickers is an absolute standout. He's your European centre-back, in my opinion. Starfelt, is he going to be the man to deal with that? And next year, we don't know, but he's done so well so far.
He missed it this season, didn't he? Because he was injured, so
we can't.
So I think we don't really know how good. I thought he was excellent. I mean, I know we get scalped that night in the Bernabeu, right? But in the game, individually, I thought he played well.
I just think in terms of, I know it's a bit off topic, but because of the comment stuff, we talk about it. I think in terms of European wise, I think all we need to do is improve next year. If that is win the league, Champions League, and then hopefully no, if it's qualifiers, it's whatever. You just need to do better. So if it's an extra point, if it's an extra 3 points, if it's qualifying, obviously for me, I think you need to try and look at finishing third now. You need to try and solidify yourself in European football. So for me, if we qualify and you finish bottom, it probably is the way it should be happening, because we're going probably 4 seeds or whatever. That's why you'd expect it to finish. But if you just make wee improvements, I think you will do better. And you know yourself, JP, it's a lucky draw as well. It depends who you get as well. So,
looks like his name Uggs, you know what I mean? It's not as if you're not going to draw a Partick Thistle in there or Queen of the South for a game.
I do
but again, I don't mean that to sound silly or either yet. But just before we go any further, Ryan, I've seen a few comments drop into the comments here, guys, from different monies, different guys here that's asking about Jens. My understanding personally, now I don't know if anybody else is aware of this or no, but his missus is either ready to have a baby or she's just had her baby. And I know he was granted some time off with the club. And this is information that I was given a few days ago. So that would explain maybe his absence from last night, if that's the case. But his partner was pregnant, obviously, and she's either just about to have her baby or she's just had her baby, is my understanding. If anybody knows different, feel free to correct me. But I do apologise, that's no 100% concrete knowledge, but it's what I've been told. So I'm giving you an informed opinion. of the situation, a possibility as to why Big Jens isn't there. And also, as far as we know, Ryan, I think contract talks have started, haven't they, with his club, Lorient and Celtic. So there is a possible deal for Jens to come permanently. I know Ange does like him. And just as Ryan says a minute ago, I think obviously Welsh is going to be the one that moves on. And it'll be Carter Vickers, Starfelt, Jens, and help me out, Kobayashi. How can I forget? He was excellent last night. So I do think that's a scenario based around Jens, guys. I know a few of you have been asking and kind of wondering what was happening, but that's obviously where we're at there with Jens. But just heading into the last wee bit of the show tonight, mate. Obviously, I don't want to keep you too much longer. So, you said it earlier, we take on Morton on Saturday at Celtic Park. It's an early kick-off as well, so it's 12:15. It's on BBC One. It's going to be a turn up for the books, that one. I was on the BBC. We don't normally see Celtic on the BBC unless it's the Scottish Cup final. But no, that'll be interesting. I think there'll be more changes to the team as well. You maybe even see Scott Bain getting a game if Big Benji's still no fit. So I know people are right away, maybe nearly swallowed their Adam's apple at that thought, but Scott Bain obviously has been working hard in the back, and you know, a game like Saturday, I think we would, you know, we would be doing well with Barkas. We'd be doing really well not to actually still go through the tie if Vasilis Barkas played. So I don't think Scott Bain would certainly be the worst option. But I understand people's doubts, and you know, it might frustrate some people. But got to remember, guys, a long season for us. So it's one of those, you know, you've got to rotate that squad. There'll be guys there chomping at a bit to play. Boys like Ralston's just back for that injury, so I'd imagine Andy will probably want to play these guys. And also, you know, like Ryan says earlier, boys like Rocco Vata, he's certainly been banging the drum and banging the door for quite some time now. So I'd imagine he'll be wanting some game time in the first team at Celtic Park. There'll be a decent crowd there. It'll probably not be full, but you know, there will be a decent. I'd imagine there'll be a decent turnout there, especially being that early on a Saturday. So no, I think moving forward, Ryan, like I said to you, mate, I just want to see us win as many games as possible. And try and get things wrapped up as quickly as possible in terms of the league. Because once you wrap the league up, you're guaranteed Champions League football again, you know, in the group stages at least again. So that puts us on party mode again. We've got a longer summer again. You're not back early. You know, you've got all that preparation that is extended at the end of the season for us. So I'm just chomping at a bit now to try and get things done. I know I've seen comments of people mentioning things about trebles and this and that. Let's take a game at a time. Let's not get too bogged down with things that we can only work and do with what's in the here and now. We can't start foreseeing and start as much as we'd love to, as much as, you know, but we have on this podcast says time and time again, Celtic's biggest threat is Celtic.
Yep.
If we're on our game and we play the way we played last night, then we're going to be very hard to stop, especially with the movement and fluency throughout the squad. And the only way to keep that fluency and tempo and energy and everything else is to rotate it. That's what Ange's trying to do. And that's why we've got a big squad. And this is something that we as Celtic fans need to become accustomed to, because it's a challenge, in my opinion, right? For the Champions League, for the league, for the cup, you need to rotate the squad. You need to use the squad. You need to give guys a game that, you know, are working hard and, you know, sweating blood for you on the training field every day. So, no, I think my main thinking is we approach the game the same way. You know, we approach Saturday like we're playing Real Madrid again. We approach it the exact same way, and we go hell for leather and we try and win the game and get us through to the next round of the cup, mate.
No, I think you're saying spot on, mate. If Joe Hart's been given a rest and Bain does play, if Siegrist isn't fully fit, you shouldn't have any qualms about Scott Bain playing against Morton. You shouldn't be. He's your third choice goalie. That's maybe a game. That's maybe a game to give him a bit of game time. We all know Scott Bain's doing behind. Well, I don't know if all people know, but we do know he's doing more stuff behind the scenes, more obviously goalkeeping. So he's obviously still a senior member of the squad. Maybe no age wise, but in terms of what he's doing and massive part of the squad, finance, experience wise, etc. Been at Celtic a while now and played in some big games, etc. So again, if Scott Bain plays, mate, you shouldn't have any qualms about him playing. He might be a bit ring rusty, but I do think Joe Hart will play personally. If Sigurds isn't fit, if Sigurds is fit, I think he plays. Scott Bain couldn't get a game in a friendly, so is he really going to play my competitive game? I don't know. If he does, fair play to him. It's a game for Scott Bain. So fair enough, the big man if he plays. But I'm like you, mate. I think maybe I don't want to take him for granted. You still want to play a strong team, ish team that you can. You still at Celtic Park. You still want to entertain your fans. You don't want to disrespect Morton and play a half team. You still want to go and put a performance on. So I think you might see maybe 3 or 4 changes maybe again. But I think you'll maybe still see guys like Johnson maybe playing or Carlson coming in and maybe Vata might get a bit of game time, guys like that. But I don't think he'll change it too much in terms of too many young guys, etc. coming in. And obviously Barkas. Again, I think Barkas gets a lot of drip because he obviously what happened that season and when he came in, let's be fair, he was honky tonk. But before he came to Celtic, he was very good with Athens, and he's left Celtic on loan, and he's been good with Utrecht. So he's not a bad goalkeeper. It just didn't happen at Celtic from as simple as that. That happens to people. It's frustrating. Who's to say that he will come back next year and be number one? I know he probably won't. But the fact that Celtic didn't give him an option to buy, is there something in that? We don't know as fans. We can only speculate. I think Joe Hart's, for me, he's been fantastic for us. £1 million buy, phenomenal value, made some amazing saves. But I do think maybe next year, I think this year might be his number one slot, and then I think maybe next year you might need to send another top draw goalkeeper. Can Sigurds, in my opinion, be number one? I don't know yet. I don't know. I've seen him enough at United, but you know yourself, JP, playing with Hearts, United, Aberdeen. Like John Souttar's found it tough, and I know he's injured at Rangers, but he's found it tough stepping up to Rangers with his first few games. Guys have kept with Celtic, Rangers in the past. Like Scott Allen found it tough here. I know he didn't get a lot of game time. Guys have kept with Celtic, Rangers and struggled. So, but on Barkas, mate, I knew it was a good goalie when he signed. It just didn't work out. But on the Morton game, mate, I just think don't disrespect him too much. Give him respect as obviously come to Celtic Park to try and get a victory, and obviously I'll be upset, but can't see it. I think Celtic are 1-40 with the bookies. That tells everything you need to know. So for me, mate, just go forward and keep going, and we don't stop.
No, we never stop, mate. That's one thing. Definitely not. Well, thanks for taking the time, mate, again tonight, Ryan. I want to thank everybody else for commenting in. I'm sorry if I never get through everybody's comment, but we did see everybody's comment. I want to thank you all again for coming on and watching us. Anyone that enjoys the content, don't be a stranger. Please click your like button and obviously the subscribe button. And what that does, it gives you a wee chance as to when we go live or when the page is active at all, you get a notification. There will be much more information, wee updates, etc. for you in terms of the community side of the page on the YouTube page. We've been active on that the last couple of days with some of you guys. Obviously, it's like a chat, so that's fine. And anybody that is want to reach out at all to the page, please do not hesitate. Me and Ryan are always here, and we're always willing to, lend an ear to for anybody that wants to vent, or maybe it's a day you're struggling and you just need somebody different to talk to in your life. Please do not hesitate, because it's one of the worst things you can do, is just sit and let things stew away in your life. Because it doesn't solve anything, it doesn't get you through at all. So please, anybody that wants to have a chat with us, please do. I've put up myself and Ryan's Twitter handles as well. So if any are on Twitter and you want to reach out, please do not hesitate. Again, don't hesitate to reach out on the YouTube page either, because myself and Ryan are active on that all the time. And yeah, it's been a pleasure being on with you and having a chat with you. And as I say, we look forward to the Green Up Morton game at the weekend. If any are going, I hope you really enjoy it. And be safe, guys, and we'll see you again.
Hail, guys. Take care, and thanks for
Hail,
the comments. Don't forget a good result Saturday.
Cheers, mate. Hail.